Hello, Adam Rayner, Talk Audio TV, the second in a series of 7 reviews of 6.5-inch loudspeakers, all from the same supplier. Why would they need 7 different kinds? These have a very declared reason for being, which says so on the box here, which we're just going to unpack and have a look at. It says these are basically the ideal drop-in replacement designed to fit most every vehicle. Zero tweeter protrusion, reduced mounting depth, loud, incredible performance, smooth and packful mid-range sound, detailed high frequencies. They're not making any braggings about the bass end here. Now, drop-in replacement means that you take the ones that you've got out and put these in the place. It's not hard. But the big deal is that speakers have a thing called efficiency. I'm making a right heavy weather of this. Here we go. And that means that how much audio do you get for the watts that you put in? How many watts, mate, is always the question. But the big deal with these babies, have a little quick look at that, is that they're supposed to be very efficient. Well, that means, just like the time I went to choose loudspeakers at the hi-fi shop and they had all these different pairs on a switching system, and like, I want the ones that went loudest, and they're all on the same power. I didn't know it was called efficiency, but it's measured as this specification that says how many decibels or loudness it is. I think this is decibels SPL. At 1 watt, measured at a metre away, because you have to quantify these things. So I'm trying to be all clever there. They're reasonably weighty. They have what's called a high Donald Gennaro rating. He was the accountant from Jurassic Park. Look, I found these under my seat. Are they heavy? Yes, then they're expensive. Put them away. This looks pretty entire. This, however, looks completely awesome. That's data. We're talking about all the specs of pretty much everything. Enough. Now, I was a bit stupid last time and didn't identify the correct bits of cabling going on in the MTX Terminator TR65Cs. These are the Kicker KCA. So it's the DSC 670. Kicker DSC 670. You've already seen that bit. This is interesting. We have some, not just speaker cable bits, but things to join these onto other speaker cables. Rather nice quality thick chunks of cable. And better yet, some pucker little crimps to connect the cables up with. Now, bizarre but true, crimping is actually one of the best kinds of connection. It's what they use in oil rigs instead of soldering, because it's actually better. What happens in a good crimp is a microscopic micro weld. I dropped something. At the point. I dropped this little baggie of hardware. This is for if you're mounting your loudspeakers just into the metalwork. It's one of those standard things to supply you with. Can you see the little clips in there? And here, each speaker's in one of these. And it's got an integral grill by the looks of things. Little sealed packet. See, I've not opened this before. Just give it a little slash on the cutting metal here I have on my desk. Right. There we go. Now DS is obviously the range. I guess C stands for coaxial. As you can see, there is no protrusion of the tweeter whatsoever. So these will fit beautifully behind any grill you may have. Now, have a little look. I hope we can get in there to have a little look into that tweeter. You can see that it's mostly pole. It's very hard to see what's going on with that tweeter, technically. I can tell you that, bashing the camera. Let's turn that right way up. Here we go. A little shift of the label. I always tend to look at this in the rushes and go, oh, you did that too fast, fat boy. Let them have a look at it, read what it says. Then we'll have a look at the terminals here. Let's have a little zooming on in. Here we go. What have we got? Well, for one, that looketh to me as if each individual product has a serial number upon it. And that is itself quite an accolade, because it don't happen much at the cheap end. Mind you, these are 45 quid, but I should say only 45 quid. Let's turn this over and see if we can see the suspension spider underneath there. Can we get the light in? My ugly chin. No, it's a bit of a foul. Haven't shifted it with the grill upon it. There we go. Looks pretty businesslike, huh? Let's zoom this back in case the trauma of seeing me necking close up behind that is a bit too unpleasant. So there we have it. That's the Kicker DSC, I should say. 704. It's 4 ROHS compliant. Of course, nice pressed metal chassis with a beautiful finish on it. I do like this cone. I wonder what the material is. It looks like some sort of anodized material. That foam surround, by the way, has got some interesting bits going on, just to clear, which is enables an enormous amount of movement without distortion. It was something that they use on their bigger, badder woofers, and obviously filters down to the less expensive product. Okay, let's go put them in the rig and see how they sound. Okay, there's the power supply and the big old battery that can start a Centurion tank. If we move the camera back up here, there's the 2 speakers involved. Let's just zoom in on this one over here and give you a few seconds of something from Bob and the Cure. It's still playing. Let's try this. Here we go. Now that was incredibly low level. Bit of an experiment because, frankly, I have had some issues with over recording and stuff because the microphone on this here set is so deadly sensitive. Okay, this is Adam Wayne signing out for Talk Audio TV. Very impressed by the Kicker DSC 670s. They really do perform every bit as good as the 40 quid ones that I just tested from MTX, except that they take up a little bit less space, and if anything, there might even be a little bit more basso profundo in these than the MTXs, dare I say. But astonishing value, described as 6 3/4 inch, as against 6.5. They have 2 distinct sizes. More different sizes of speakers in the States than here. We tend to use them all as the same. Anyway, I'm blithering. Adam Rayner signing out for Talk Audio TV. Hugely recommended. Like these DSC 670.